अपनी लैंग्वेज पे बोलेंगे। वैसे असूली तौर पे हमें अपनी भी बोलना चाहिए था। क्यों नहीं बोलते हम? क्या वजह है? इसको शुरू करना चाहिए वैसे हमें, है ना?
करें, छोटी करिएगा, सुबह तो पूरा कुरान शरीफ पढ़ाने लगे। नहीं मतलब पूरा ना पढ़े, शॉर्ट करें।
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. صدق الله العظيم. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. O people, we created you from a man and a woman, and made you into different nations and tribes, so that you may know and understand one another. The most respected in Allah's sight is the one who is most God conscious. Allah knows everything. Allah always says the truth. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Jazakallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Distinguished delegates from our brotherly nations Azerbaijan, Turkey, and Pakistan, honorable members of parliament, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and a very warm welcome to our brothers and sisters. It is an honor for me to chair this prestigious gathering of the parliamentarians from the brotherly countries Pakistan, Azerbaijan, and Turkey at the third Trilateral Speakers Meeting. Honorable colleagues, today's agenda is built upon two fundamental pillars of our trilateral partnership. First, we will deliberate on climate change and disaster resilience, collaborative strategies for sustainable development, a universal challenge that threatens our people, their lives and livelihoods, and demands a unified response Subsequently, we will reaffirm the unshakable principle that binds our nations as we discuss defending territorial integrity and sovereignty, solidarity against external threats, underscoring our mutual commitment to stand with each other in preserving our nation's sovereign rights and security. Ladies and gentlemen, our discussion for today is climate and disaster resilience, collaborative strategies for sustainable development, and this is truly essential and timely. Across every continent, the growing impacts of climate change are reshaping lives and livelihoods. In Pakistan, we have seen the devastating first-hand the catastrophic floods of 2022 displaced millions, destroyed our agriculture heartland, and caused losses worth billions of dollars, a tragedy that has repeated itself this year. But this is not just Pakistan's story. From rising sea levels threatening the existence of Pacific Island nations to prolonged droughts in Africa to unprecedented wildfires and heat waves in Europe and North America, the message is the same. Climate change recognizes no borders. It is a global challenge that demands a united global response. Our brotherly nations, Turkey and Azerbaijan, have also faced its wrath. Devastating wildfires, extreme heat waves, and increasingly erratic weather. These events remind us that no country can face this crisis alone. Resilience cannot be built in isolation. It requires a shared commitment and a collective approach. Ladies and gentlemen, lasting resilience depends on political stability, sound governance, and strong institutions. As elected representatives, we must champion policies aligned with the Paris Agreement and the Sendai framework, but call upon international and regional organizations to enhance coordination and deliver climate justice. This means urging international financial institutions to provide more resources for adaptation and resilience, especially for vulnerable nations. The private sector must embed sustainability into its core business models, while civil society and local communities must be empowered as agents of inclusive innovation and accountability. Pakistan remains firmly committed to collaboration. The establishment of Loss and Damage Fund was a milestone achievement, but its success will depend how quickly and effectively it delivers support where it is most needed. Domestically, our National Disaster Risk Reduction Strategy 2025-2030 is aligned with global frameworks and demonstrates our resolve to act. However, our greatest potential lies in regional cooperation. In particular, strengthening cross-border water management and developing joint early warning systems that can save countries' lives from floods and cyclones. As we visited the National Disaster Management Center and had first-hand experience. Honorable members, we firmly believe that a trilateral partnership between Pakistan, Azerbaijan, and Turkey, built on technology and knowledge sharing, can become a model for regional collaboration. Together, we can link our meteorological institution, share climate data, and integrate indigenous knowledge to ensure that even the most remote communities receive timely and life-saving warnings. To translate this vision into concrete action, I propose the creation of a trilateral parliamentary working group on climate action, as it was discussed this morning also. This group, comprising 3 parliamentarians from each of our countries should meet regularly to develop and implement a joint strategy focused on 5 key areas. 1. Mobilizing climate finance, advocating for accessible and predictable adaptation funding and pushing for not just the fulfillment but the expansion of global climate finance commitments. Promoting green infrastructure, advancing resilient housing, climate smart agriculture, and infrastructure designed for the climate realities of tomorrow. 3. Strengthening knowledge and technology transfer, making open data, innovation, partnerships, and technology sharing the norm, while ensuring that local communities remain central to every strategy. Advocating for green mobility, exploring joint ventures and policy frameworks for climate-friendly mass transportation, including electric buses, trams, and trains. 5. Launching awareness campaigns. And I feel this is the most important. You know, we need to spread the awareness campaigns through our university, through our students, through the political people who are sitting, because they are the direct representatives of the people. So launching awareness campaigns, creating large-scale education programs to empower our youth, Generation Z, to champion conservation, sustainability, and responsible use of water and energy resources. The working group's ultimate great goal should be a comprehensive policy document, a roadmap for long-term cooperation and actionable interventions across all levels of governance. Ladies and gentlemen, disasters and climate change do not distinguish between North and South, rich and poor, developed or developing. They reveal our shared vulnerabilities and test our shared humanity. Sustainable development and disaster resilience are inseparable. One cannot exist without the other. And as I am the convener of the Sustainable Development Goals, I feel climate is a cross-cutting goal which is affecting every goal for the development of a nation. As a climate vulnerable nation and a committed global partner, Pakistan reaffirms its resolve to be a constructive force in advancing this common cause. We stand ready to work hand in hand with our brotherly nations, our neighbors, and the wider international community to build a safer, more resilient world for generations to come. The time for half measures has passed. The age of collective action has arrived. May the conference in Islamabad, where we are sitting today, be remembered not only for the deliberations, but for its determination to act, to adapt, and to advance together. Let this be the moment when our 3 nations reaffirmed that lifetime friendship among countries can become resilience for the planet. Thank you. Long live Pakistan, Azerbaijan, and Turkey friendship. So now, as I mentioned earlier, that the next agenda on the agenda is to discuss defending territorial integrity and sovereignty, solidarity against external threats. My friend Sayyid Raza Ali Gilani will take for. No. Acha, I have. Can I think I have to invite the. Mera ye dijiyega. हाँ किन कर दें आप कर दो इनवाइट कर दें हाँ इसमें है मैंने देखा नहीं था चलिए लेट हर इनवाइट कंक्लूडिंग है मुझे बताया I have it. Sorry, Ji, for the interruption. To further enrich the discussion, I would like to invite Ms. Fatima Yildirim, Deputy Chair of the National Resource Energy and Ecology Committee of the Milli Majlis of Azerbaijan, to share her valuable insights on this critical topic.
Thank you very much. Çox təşəkkür edirəm. Hörmətli tədbir iştirakçıları, dəyərli həmkarlar, əziz dostlar. Bugün burada sizinlə olmaqdan böyük məmnuniyyət hissi keçirirəm və Azərbaycan adından sizləri salamlayıram. Bugün Azərbaycan, Türkiyə, Pakistan üç tərəfli əməkdaşlığı təkcə regional deyil, qlobal miqyasda diqqət çəkən siyasi və strateji platformaya çevirib. Bu əlaqələrin dərinləşməsi, qarşılıqlı etimad və dəstək üzərindən qurulmuş münasibətlərin məntiqi nəticəsidir. Hər üç dövlət ortaq tarixi, dini, mədəni və mənəvi dəyərlərə sahib olmaqla yanaşı, eyni zamanda sülh, sabitlik və ədalətə əsaslanan beynəlxalq nizamın tərəfdarıdır. Qardaş ölkə Pakistanın paytaxtı
Pakistan, for this important event is yet another manifestation of the deep-rooted friendship among our nations. I am truly honored and proud to speak at such a remarkable gathering. Today, climate change and the disasters it causes are no longer the threat, they are our daily reality. Environmental pollution, ecosystem destruction, and the intensity of the natural disasters pose a serious threat to the sustainable future of all countries. In this situation, the most important response mechanism is joint cooperation and strategic solidarity. We accepted this challenge long ago as a Republic of Azerbaijan. In recent years, our country has taken important steps toward protecting the ecological balance, transitioning to green energy and land reclamation. But one of the most important indicators is the hosting COP29 in Azerbaijan in 2024. It is not just international trust, this is official confirmation of Azerbaijan's claims to leadership on climate issue. With this summit, we want to show the world that achieving global climate goals is impossible without regional cooperation. Azerbaijan has been working for many years to promote sustainable development in the region. We view the fight against climate change not only as an environmental problem, but also economic, social, and humanitarian. For this reason, we are actively working in areas such as green energy transition, smart village concept, renewable energy projects, and ecosystem restoration. Dear participants of the event, the Republic of Azerbaijan has been taking important steps towards protecting ecological balance, green energy transition, efficient use of energy and energy efficiency, and land rehabilitation in recent years. With your permission, I would also like to briefly mention the reconstruction and restoration work being carried out by Azerbaijan on these lands, particularly in the liberated territories of Karabakh and Eastern Zangezur. We, Azerbaijan, are located in one of the most complex geopolitical and ecological geographies of the South Caucasus. Outlands that have been under occupation for over 30 years, Karabakh and Eastern Zangezur have been subjected to environmental terrorism. Forests have been destroyed, rivers have been polluted, and crimes against nature have been committed. Today, we are implementing projects such as smart villages and green energy zones in these lands. We are not just rebuilding, but also building a more resilient, more modern model. This experience is an example of recovery after disaster. And I believe that it is possible to share this experience with Pakistan, Turkey, and other friendly countries, learn from each other, and put toward joint projects. For many years, Azerbaijan, Turkey, and Pakistan have been bound by strong friendly relations and mutual respect. Our
tariximiz,
history,
dəyərlərimiz,
values, and
həmrəyliyimiz
solidarity
bizi
make
yaxın
us more
dostdan
than
daha
just
artıq
close
edir.
friends.
Bu
This
dostluq indi
friendship
ekoloji
should now
təhlükəsizlik
extend to the field
sahəsinə
of
də
environmental
keçməlidir.
security,
Çünki
because
həm
both
Azərbaycan, həm
Pakistan,
Pakistan,
Turkey,
həm də
and
Türkiyə
Azerbaijan are
iqlim
countries that have
fəlakətlərinin
faced the
ağrılı
painful
nəticələri ilə
consequences
üzləşmiş
of climate
ölkələrdir.
disasters.
Biz eyni
We face the
çağrışlarla
same
üz-üzəyik.
challenges:
Torpaq
landslides,
sürüşmələri,
floods, and
daşqınlar,
water
su
shortages.
çatışmamazlığı, depremlər, bizdə zəlzələ deyirlər. Bu səbəbdən
Therefore, our
əməkdaşlığımızın
cooperation
yalnız
should be
niyyət
reflected
bəyanatlarında
not
deyil,
only
birgə
in declaration
praktiki
of intent,
strategiyalarda
but
da öz
also
əksini
in joint
tapmalıdır.
practical
Son
strategies.
illərdə
A
ölkəmiz
new
üçün
environmental problem
aktuallaşan
has
yeni bir
emerged,
ekoloji
which
problem
has become
də meydana
relevant for
çıxmışdır.
our country in
dünyanın
recent
ən
years.
böyük
This is
qapalı
due to
su
the
hövzəsi olan
lowering and
Xəzər dənizinin
shallowing of the Caspian Sea,
səviyyəsinin
the world's
aşağı
largest
düşməsi və
inland body of
dayazlaşması ilə
water.
bağlıdır. Artıq
It's time
hesab
to set an
edirəm,
example
zamanı gəlib
of
çatıb ki,
brotherhood
faydalı
which is
əməkdaşlığa çevrilən
embodied
qardaşlıq
in fruitful
nümunəsi ortaya
cooperation.
qoyaq. İqlim
Climate
məlumatlarının
data exchange,
paylaşılması,
sharing
dayanıqlı
experiences in
kənd
sustainable
təsərrüfatı
agriculture,
sahəsində
and
təcrübə
joint development
mübadiləsi,
of disaster
təbii fəlakətlərə
preparedness and
hazırlıq
response
və cavab
mechanisms.
mexanizmlərinin
These are
birgə
all
qurulması.
real and
Bunlar
possible
hamısı
areas of
real və
cooperation.
mümkün əməkdaşlıq istiqamətləridir.
Dear
Hörmətli
participants of
həmkarlar,
the
iqlim
conference,
dəyişikləri ilə
combating
mübarizə
climate
yalnız
change is
hökumətlərin
not
işi
just the
deyil.
responsibility
Bu
of governments,
qanunvericilik
it requires the
orqanlarının,
direct involvement of legislative
parlamentlərin
bodies, parliaments.
birbaşa iştirakını tələb edən məsələdir. Siyasət,
Effective
hüquq və
change
idarə
occurs
etmənin
at the
birləşdiyi nöqtədə
intersection of
effektiv
politics,
dəyişiklik baş
law,
verir.
and governance.
Biz
We see
parlament
parliamentary
diplomatiyasını
diplomacy as an
bu
integral
mübarizənin
part of
ayrılmaz
this fight.
hissəsi olaraq görürük.
The Republic of Azerbaijan has been systematically taking important steps in this direction in recent years. As the Deputy Chairman of the Committee on Natural Resources, Energy and Ecology of the Parliament of Azerbaijan, I would like to emphasize that climate and environmental legislation in our country is constantly being improved. A number of laws and mechanisms recently adopted in Azerbaijan are strengthening the legal framework in this fight. Thus, the law on the use of renewable energy resources stimulates investments in the green energy sector and legally ensures the establishment of the renewable energy zones, as well as the creation of the favorable investment environment for attracting local and foreign investments in the sector. Another law on environmental impact assessment establishes the mandatory preliminary assessment of environmental risks for projects that may impact the environment. This law serves to protect the balanced state of environment and ensure the priority of the ecological and natural environment, despite the high economic significance of the projects. The law on atmospheric air protection ensures the prevention of air pollution, the improvement of the permitting system, and emission standards. The State Program for Water Resources Management is a state program adopted to protect water resources, promote their efficient use and reuse. As a result of the amendments made to law on waste in recent years, mechanisms are waste sorting, recycling, and disposal, as well as the disposal of obsolete and environmental harmful vehicles have been improved. Dear colleagues, with your permission, I would like to present several proposals to Pakistan, Turkey, and other countries for creating new models of cooperation. I would like to. I propose to establish the regional interparliamentary platform for green initiatives. We have discussed with Madam Speaker, and Madam Speaker also told in her speech, the exchange of the legislative experiences and the promotion of joint legislative initiatives in this field of climate change, disaster preparedness, and the transition of the green economy can be carried out through this platform with the participation of the parliaments of Azerbaijan, Turkey, and Pakistan. I also propose creating joint masters of the training programs in climate diplomacy and green governance in collaboration with universities and research centers in the region, thereby contributing to the development of the joint educational initiatives in the field of climate literacy. Dear participants of the event, in conclusion, I would like to emphasize that Azerbaijan has warm and deep historical relations with both Turkey and Pakistan. I believe that now, in the time to deepen these relations and transform them into cooperation that serves to build a green future, we all know that no country can overcome climate change alone. But if we join forces, share our knowledge and experience, we can leave future generations a more stable and healthier world. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Member from Azerbaijan for the insightful and valuable suggestions and statement that underscores our shared challenges and the imperative for collective action. Thank you very much. I now have the pleasure to call upon Mr. Abdul Qadir Özel, member of the Grand National Assembly of Turkey, to deliver their statement on the same topic. Thank you.
Thank you. Sayın Başkan, saygıdeğer meslektaşlarım, kıymetli katılımcılar, Türkiye, Pakistan, Azerbaycan Üçlü Parlamento Başkanları toplantısı vesilesiyle İslamabad'da bulunmaktan ve sizlerle bir araya gelmekten büyük bir memnuniyet duyuyorum. Gösterilen ev sahipliği ve misafirperverlikleri için başta Pakistan Ulusal Meclis Başkanı Zat-ı Alileri Sayın Serdar Ayaz Sadık olmak üzere emeği geçen herkese teşekkür ediyorum. Saygıdeğer meslektaşlarım, iklim değişikliği ve buna bağlı doğal afetler günümüzde ulusal sınırları aşan ve ortak geleceğimizi tehdit eden en önemli küresel sınamalar arasında yer alıyor. Üç ülke olarak hem münhasıran hem de bölgesel olarak sıcak hava dalgaları, kuraklık ve yangın ormanları ile aşırı yağışlar ve seller gibi iklim değişikliğine bağlı afetlerin etkilerini doğrudan artan bir sıklıkta ve yoğunlukta yaşıyoruz. Deprem felaketleri de maalesef ülkelerimizi olumsuz etkilemekte, can kayıplarına sebep olmaktadır. Bu vesileyle ben de 6 Şubat depreminin en yoğun hissedildiği illerden bir tanesi olan Hatay would like to mention that I am the MP of Hatay province, which experienced the earthquake disaster the most, and I would like to express my gratitude to you, Pakistan and Azerbaijani brothers and sisters, for the brotherhood and sisterhood you showed, the support you showed during the earthquake. So, the fight against these disasters brings a dimensional, multi-dimensional effort that affects every area of life, from food security to water resources. Our experience as three countries exposed to climate change-related disasters clearly reveals how urgent, comprehensive, and collaborative climate actions are necessary. So, via a joint committee, we can put forward our common actions, and to this recommendation we are ready to provide any support. In particular, Pakistan, our friendly country, is among the countries mostly affected by the consequences of climate change. Although Pakistan is responsible for 1% of global emissions, it is striking that it is among the 10 most affected countries by climate change. In addition to the large-scale migration movement caused by the monsoon rains, and in which over 1,000 of our Pakistani brothers and sisters lost their lives, the flood disaster that caused agricultural areas to be flooded are the latest examples of this. On this occasion, may Allah have mercy on those who lost their lives in a flood disaster, and we express our condolences to their relatives. Dear colleagues, while laying solid foundations for climate action at the national level, Turkey attaches great importance to strengthening regional and national cooperation in the fight against climate change based on these foundations. Although its historical contribution to global greenhouse gas emissions is limited, our country is resistant to climate change and acts
with the determination to build a sustainable future. In this context, our country has adopted the green transformation vision in line with 2053 net zero emission target, and it has gained a strong ground for climate actions with regulations such as the emissions trading system and the climate law. With renewable energy investments, adaptation and mitigation strategies, a holistic roadmap that reduces disaster risks and supports sustainable development should be followed. Our initiatives such as zero waste and water efficiency set an example on a global scale by contributing to the protection of natural resources and increasing social resilience against the climate crisis, not only in our country, but also at the international scale. Despite our national efforts, we are aware that creating communities resilient to disasters due to climate change will not be possible with the efforts of a single country. At this point, we believe that we should deepen the parliamentary cooperation between Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Pakistan. So this platform, which gathered us together today, is an important opportunity for parliamentarians to deepen international cooperation against environmental crises and develop concrete solutions. In addition to sharing knowledge, experience, and good practice examples, it is possible to reduce disaster risks and achieve sustainable development goals by developing common solutions. Within this context, I would like to state that we can develop joint projects in areas such as afforestation, clean water management, green technologies, and strengthen our national strategies by sharing experiences.
Kıymetli meslektaşlarım,
Dear colleagues,
parlamenterler olarak
as
iklim
parliamentarians,
değişikliğinin yalnızca
we
bir
must
çevre
act
meselesi değil,
with the awareness
aynı
that
zamanda
climate
bir
change is
kalkınma
not
ve
only an
kuşaklar
environmental
arası
issue,
adalet
but it
meselesi
is
olduğunun
also a matter
bilinciyle
of
hareket
development
etmeliyiz.
and an
Etkili bir
intergenerational
parlamenter
justice
denetim,
issue.
iklim
An
politikalarının
effective
doğru
parliamentary
şekilde
audit
uygulanması
or
ve kamu
oversight is
kaynaklarının
vital
adil
for the
ve
correct
şeffaf
implementation
biçimde
of climate
kullanılması
policies
açısından
and for the
hayati öneme
fair and
sahiptir.
transparent use of public
Erken uyarı
resources.
sistemleri, yenilenebilir enerji,
Budget support in
sürdürülebilir
areas
tarım
such as early
ve
warning
afetlere
systems,
hazırlık gibi
renewable
alanlarda
energy,
yapılacak
sustainable
bütçe
agriculture,
destekleri,
and disaster
iklim
preparedness
direncinin
should be a
arttırılması bakımından
priority in
öncelik
terms of
teşkil
increasing
etmelidir.
climate resilience.
Diğer taraftan
On the other
sürdürülebilir
hand,
kalkınma ile
sustainable
iklim direnci
development
birbirinden
and
ayrı
climate
düşünülemez.
resilience cannot be
Doğal
thought of
kaynaklarımızı
separately.
korumadan
It is
güçlü
not
bir ekonomi
possible
inşa
to build a
etmek
strong
veya
economy or
toplumsal
ensure
istikrarı
social
sağlamak asla
stability
mümkün
without
değildir.
protecting our natural
Bu doğrultuda
resources. In this
yeşil
direction,
inovasyon,
we should see
eğitim ve
investments in
kapasite
green
geliştirme
innovation,
alanlarına yapılacak
education, and
yatırımları
capacity
birer
building
maliyet değil,
as a long-term
uzun
national
vadeli
gain,
birer
but
ulusal
not a
kazanım olarak
cost.
görmeliyiz. Bu konuda
So in this regard,
Pencap Eyalet
the
Başbakanı
valuable works of
Sayın
the
Meryem
Prime
Nawaz
Minister
Şerif'in
of
kıymetli çalışmaları
Punjab, Ms.
ülkemizde de
Maryam
takip
Nawaz
edilmektedir.
Sharif, are also followed in
Pencap'ta
our
uygulamaya
country.
konulan Yeşil
The
Kredi
Green
Programı,
Credit Program
bölgenin
implemented in
en büyük ve
Punjab
gelişmiş iklim
is
gözlemevinin inşası
admirable
başta
to
olmak üzere
pioneer
öncülük ettiği
initiatives,
girişimler takdire
especially the
şayandır.
construction of the
Sayın
region's
Eyalet
largest and most
Başbakanı'nın bölgeyi
advanced
etkileyen
climate
iklim olaylarına
observatory.
ilişkin
The proposal of
Hindistan'a
climate
yönettiği iklim
diplomacy
diplomasisi
submitted
teklifi,
by the Prime Minister to
konunun
India
siyaset
regarding the
üstü ve
climate
sınır
events
aşan
affecting
niteliğine
the
de
region
çok
is
güzel bir
also a good
örnek
example
teşkil
of the
etmektedir.
transpolitical and
Kıymetli
transboundary
katılımcılar,
nature of the issue.
İslamabad
Dear
Deklarasyonunda
colleagues, in the
sürdürülebilir
Islamabad
kalkınma hedeflerine
Declaration,
atıfta
it
bulunularak
is valuable
iklim
that
değişikliğiyle
we
mücadele
as
konusunda
Turkey,
Türkiye,
Pakistan and
Pakistan
Azerbaijan
ve
reiterate
Azerbaycan
our
olarak
will
yakın
for close
işbirliğimizi,
cooperation in the fight
irademizi
against
yenilememiz
climate
kıymetlidir.
change by referring to the
Üçlü
Sustainable
işbirliğimizden
Development Goals. We believe that with the additional strength we will gain from our trilateral cooperation, we will walk towards our goals with more solid and confident steps. As parliamentarians representing our peoples, we have both the authority and responsibility to shape policies that will secure a habitable planet
Bu
for
bilinçle
future generations.
dayanışmamızı
With this
daha da
awareness,
güçlendirmeye
we are ready to
ve
further
parlamenter
strengthen our
diplomasinin
solidarity
küresel iklim
and show
mücadelesinde
that
ve
parliamentary
sürdürülebilir
diplomacy
kalkınma
can
hedeflerine
be a
ulaşılmasında
powerful
güçlü
instrument
bir araç
in the global
olabileceğini
climate
göstermeye
struggle and
hazırız.
achieving sustainable
Hepinize
development
çok
goals.
teşekkür ediyor.
Thank you,
Nazik ev
each and
sahipliğinden
everyone,
ötürü kardeş
and thank you very
Pakistan'a
much for your
şükranlarımı sunuyorum. Sağ olun.
kindest hospitality.
Thank you, Honorable Mr. Abdul Qadir Uzel, member of the Grand National Assembly of Turkey, for those profound remarks and for highlighting the importance of a trilateral cooperation in building resilience. Thank you. And now we will now move to the second important topic of our meeting, defending territorial integrity and sovereignty, solidarity against external threats. This is a cornerstone of our fraternal ties to begin. I would like to invite the convener of the Pakistan-Azerbaijan Parliamentary Friendship Group in the National Assembly of Pakistan, Sayyid Raza Ali Gilani, to deliver a statement. The floor is yours.
Thank
now
you.
it's the floor
Thank
is
you
yours.
very much.
Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I once again, on behalf of the Parliament and the people of Pakistan, it is my profound honor to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed brothers and sisters from Azerbaijan and Turkey in our beautiful capital, Islamabad. Your presence at this historic third Trilateral Speakers Conference is a powerful testament to the unbreakable bonds of friendship, fraternity, and trust that unite our three nations. This gathering is more than a symbol of our close relations. It is a bold reaffirmation of our shared resolve to strengthen parliamentary cooperation and stand united against common challenges. The year 2025 has exposed our region to a disturbing rise in armed conflicts, from the four-day Pakistan-India war in May to Israel's continued aggression against Palestine, Iran, Lebanon, Syria, and more recently, Qatar. In this precarious context, it is imperative that this trilateral meeting delves deep into strategies for securing our territorial integrity and sovereignty against external threats, a matter of existential importance for our nations and for regional peace. For Pakistan, sovereignty has been the cornerstone of our identity since our inception in 1947. From our very first day as a nation, our people have made immense sacrifice to safeguard our borders, our freedom, and our dignity. No act of aggression, coercion, or external pressure has ever shaken our commitment to independence. Our Azerbaijani brothers have shown the world that perseverance and courage can reclaim occupied lands and restore justice. Turkey has demonstrated unparalleled resilience in defending its borders and people from terrorism, subversion, and external interference. Pakistan's unwavering solidarity and deepening strategic partnership with both Azerbaijan and Turkey are rooted in our shared faith, history, and in intertwined destiny. Excellencies, the threats to territorial integrity in the 21st century extend far beyond conventional warfare. Today, we confront hybrid threats, disinformation campaigns, cyber attacks, cross-border sponsored terrorism, and economic coercion. These modern instruments of aggression are designed to destabilize nations, obstruct development, and erode sovereignty from within. To counter them, our unity is not merely beneficial, it is indispensable. In the recent past, Pakistan decisively confronted and repelled a brazen act of Indian aggression. The nation stood united with its valiant armed forces, whose resolute and crushing response in Operation Banyan al-Marsus not only forced India into humiliating retreat, but also globally exposed its campaign of malicious lies and deceit for what it was. Pakistan will forever honor the unwavering solidarity of key allies like China and Saudi Arabia, and above all, our iron borders, Turkey and Azerbaijan. We stood firm with us, who stood firm with us in a critical hour of need. At the same time, the fundamental right to self-determination and sovereignty is being brutally denied to the people of Palestine and the unarmed masses in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. These are not merely political disputes, they are festering wounds on the conscience of humanity and represent nuclear flashpoints capable of triggering a global conflagration. My dear brothers and sisters from Azerbaijan and Turkey, for over 7 decades, the people of Palestine have endured occupation, dispossession, and relentless violence. Their inalienable right to an independent state with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital is recognized by the international community, yet systematically denied. The expansionists' vision of a greater Israel, recently expressed by Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, is not only a blatant rejection of the two-state solution, but a clear reflection of Israel's design to violate the territorial integrity of its neighbors and the very essence of the United Nations Charter. Ladies and gentlemen, the hegemonic scheme is utterly unacceptable. Let the parliamentary leaders and members assembled here today record our joint condemnation and our unwavering resolve to oppose this injustice and at every forum. Pakistan reaffirms its steadfast political, moral, and diplomatic support for the Palestinian people, and until their legitimate dream of freedom and sovereignty is realized. Similarly, the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir continue to live under a brutal occupation, facing grave human rights violation and the denial of their fundamental rights. Their right to self-determination, pledged through numerous UN Security Council resolutions, remains unfulfilled. Pakistan will never abandon the Kashmiri people in their just struggle. Their cause is our cause, and we will continue to champion it at every platform until justice is served. Honorable colleagues, parliaments are the ultimate guardians of national sovereignty and the authentic voice of the people. It is our sacred duty to ensure that international law is upheld, aggression is resisted, and justice prevails. Through robust parliamentary diplomacy, structured trilateral dialogue, and deepened people-to-people engagement, we must build institutional framework that fortify our independence and amplify our collective voice on the global stage. Pakistan, as your host, believes our trilateral cooperation must evolve from declarations to decisive actions. Joint parliamentary committees, trilateral friendship groups, and coordination diplomatic initiatives can transform our solidarity into unassailable structure of cooperation. When Pakistan, Azerbaijan, and Turkey speak with one voice, the world must listen. Excellencies, defending territorial integrity and sovereignty is not merely about protecting lines on a map. It is about defending the hopes, dignity, and future of people. Secure borders and regional peace are the bedrock upon which development and justice are built. Without them, nations remain vulnerable. With them, they thrive. May this historic conference in Islamabad be remembered as a decisive turning point where Pakistan, Azerbaijan, and Turkey renewed our sacred pledge to defend our territorial integrity without compromise, to resist aggression in all its forms, to stand in unwavering solidarity with oppressed peoples of Palestine and Kashmir, and to safeguard our region as a bastion of people and prosperity. Together, we shall ensure that no external threat, however formidable, can undermine our unity, our independence, or our collective resolve. I once again thank you all. In Pakistan, Zindabad, Pak Dosti, Turkey, Azerbaijan, Paidambad. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this powerful statement reaffirming our unwavering solidarity. I now call upon Mr. Arzu Najigev, Chairman of the Defense, Security and Anti-Corruption Committee of the Milli Majlis of Azerbaijan, to share their perspective on this vital subject.
Çok teşekkür edirəm,
Thank you very
hörmətli
much,
sədr,
dear
hörmətli təbrikçiçiləri,
speaker, dear
əziz
event
qonaqlar və
participants,
xanımlar, cənablar,
distinguished guests, ladies and
yüksək
gentlemen.
səviyyəli
The
tədbir
topic
görüşməsində
we are discussing today, the
təşkilatçılara
protection,
öz dərin minnətdarlığımı bildirirəm.
I really thank you
Bugün burada
for
müzakirə etdiyimiz
the
məsələ
topic we are discussing
ərazi
today.
bütövlüyü,
The protection of territorial
suverenliyin
integrity
müdafiəsi
and sovereignty
21-ci əsrin
is
ən
among the
aktual və
most
strateji
pressing
anlayışlarından
strategic
biridir.
concepts of the
Çünki
21st
müstəqil
century.
qərar vermə
Because the
hüququ,
right to independent decision-making, national security, and the inviolability of the state borders constitute the very foundation of every nation's existence. Azerbaijan was affirmed this principle not merely at the level of the declaration, but through the concrete action during the 44-day patriotic. I am also member of this area, therefore I know everything, and I also participated in the first war, Karabakh War, and I know and I am aware of the people who suffered from this first Karabakh War, and I know their suffer, they always tell to me.
Şəhid qardaşlarıma dərin hüzünlə başsağlığı verirəm. Şəhidlərimizə Allahdan
I
bir
recall
daha
and
onların qohumlarına səbir diləyirəm. Azərbaycan öz ərazi
Azerbaijan
bütövlüyünün prinsipini təkcə
has
bəyanat səviyyəsində deyil,
liberation of our lands, but also about the restoration of the justice, international law,
bu
and the national
müharibə
pride.
təkcə torpaqlarımızın azad
Of course, the
olunması
role of the
deyil,
Azerbaijan leadership
həm
in
də
these matters is
ədalətin,
undeniable.
beynəlxalq hüququn və milli qürurun bərpası idi. Bu
At the heart of the
məsələlərdə təbii ki,
historical
Azərbaycan
victory
rəhbərliyinin
stood,
rolu
of course, the political
danılmazdır.
will
Bu
strategy
tarixi qələbənin
station.
mərkəzində əlbəttə Azərbaycan
Thanks to
prezidenti,
the resolute
Müzəffər
stance of
Ali
the
Baş Komandan
president,
İlham
the
Əliyevin
citizens of
siyasi
Azerbaijan
iradəsi,
who
strateji
regard
qüvvət
martyrdom
və
as
xalqla
an
birliyi
honor
dayanırdı.
and the unity of the
Tarixin müxtəlif
valiant Azerbaijani
dönəmlərində
army,
Azərbaycan
our
xalqı
country
öz
achieved
həmrəyliyi ilə
victory both
ən çətin
on battlefield
vəziyyətlərdən
and
çıxıb.
on the front of the
44
information
Vətən müharibəsi
and
canlı bir
diplomacy.
tarixidir.
Relying on international law,
Prezidentin
he
qətiyyətli
demonstrated
mövqeyi,
that the restoration to
şəhadəti şərəf sayan
international
Azərbaycan vətəndaşı,
territorial integrity is
Rəşadətli
sovereignty right
Azərbaycan
for every state.
ordusunun vəhdəti
Naturally, the
sayəsində
role of the brotherly
Azərbaycan həm döyüş
Turkey was a
meydanında,
great
həm də
significance,
informasiya və
and the
diplomatiya
president of
sahəsində
Turkey
qalib gəldi. O, beynəlxalq hüquqa söykənərək göstərdi ki, ərazi
expressed
bütövlüyünü
his
bərpa etmək
unwavering
hər bir
support.
dövlətin
From the
suveren
very
haqqıdır.
first days of the war, the president of
Təbii
the
ki, qardaş Türkiyənin rolu çox önəmli oldu.
The president of the Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, expressed his unwavering support. From the very first day of the war, the president of the Republic of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, openly declared, Azerbaijan is not alone, Turkey stands by Azerbaijan. This statement was not merely a political message, it was an oath of the brotherhood, a symbol of unity and solidarity. Turkey, through its diplomacy, Parliament, society and the media conveyed Azerbaijan's voice of truth to the world. Thanks to years of joint military trainings, cooperation in the defense industry and exchange of experience, this solidarity yielded tangible results. Turkey's technological and moral support made it possible to shape a new
44
combat
günlük
concept
Vətən
during the
müharibəsində
course
qardaş
of the
dövlətlərin
war.
həmrəylik
Distinguished
himayəsi
event
mənəvi
participants, the
dəstəyinin
entire world
ən üst
also
səviyyəsi
witnessed
Bu dövrdə
Pakistan's solidarity
Azərbaycanın
at the
digər
state
dəstəkçisi
level.
Pakistan
The Islamic
İslam
Republic of
Respublikası idi.
Pakistan supported
Təsəvvür edin
Azerbaijan's
ki,
just struggle
müharibə gedən
with the same
vaxtlar
sincerity.
Azərbaycanın
All
bütün
political
bölgələrində,
circles of
hətta
Pakistan
müharibə
openly
getməyən
defended
bölgələrdə
Azerbaijan
üst bayraq
rightful
dalğalanırdı.
position. During the war, the parliament of
Türkiyə və
Pakistan,
Pakistanın bayrağı və qələbə əzmi ilə
in the whole
ancaq
region, in the
döyüş
territory
meydanında
of Azerbaijan in
rəşadət
Karabakh region, we had
Pakistanın
3
göstərdiyi
flags
həmrəylik və dəstək
during the war.
təqdirə layiq idi.
During the war,
44
the
gün
parliament of Pakistan
müddətində Pakistan
adopted
beynəlxalq arenada Azərbaycana
stated
qarşı
expressing
yönəlmiş
its full
məhkəmlik
support of
siyasəti işlədi.
Azerbaijan territorial
Müharibə
integrity. As you know,
ərəfəsində
this
Türkiyə və
state was
Pakistan
only
bayraqları bir
Muslim
daha
country,
deyirəm.
did not recognize
Azərbaycanın
Armenia.
ən
And this
ucqar
was not
kəndlərində belə
not
yanaşı
merely a
dalğalandı.
diplomatic decision, but a matter
Bütün
of
dünya
conviction and
Pakistanın
principle.
dövlət səviyyəsində həmrəyliyinin şahidi oldu.
The ties, training, and
Azərbaycanın
defense cooperation between the
haqlı
armed forces of
mübarizəsini
Pakistan
İslam
and Azerbaijan
Respublikası
continue
eyni
to this
səmimiyyətlə
day
dəstəkləyir.
and are
Çünki
further deepening.
Bizim Pakistanla çox dərin və ənənəvi qardaşlığımız var.
Therefore, I would like to
Pakistanın
note
bütün
that the
siyasi
unity
dairələri
of three
Azərbaycanın
brother
ədalətli
nations
mövqeyini
was a
açıq şəkildə
manifestation of
müdafiə etdi.
strategic reality.
Pakistan parlamenti müharibə dövründə bəyanat qəbul edərək Azərbaycanın
Even
ərazi
I want
bütövlüyünə
to
tam dəstəyini
tell
ifadə
again,
etdi. Bu
Pakistan
dövlət
fully
bildiyiniz kimi
supported
Ermənistanı
Azerbaijan
tanımayan
during
yeganə
the
müsəlman
war,
ölkə idi
Second
və bu
War.
təkcə
And
diplomatik qərar deyil,
was
əqidə, məslək
the
məsələsi idi.
Muslim country
Pakistan ordusu ilə
that
Azərbaycan silahlı
recognized
qüvvələri arasında
the
əlaqələr,
integrity of
təlimlər
Azerbaijan.
və müdafiə
These
əməkdaşlığı
ties
bu gün də davam edir
and
və
defense
daha da
cooperation
dərinləşir.
between armed
Bu
forces of
tək
Pakistan
ordular
still continues with
səviyyəsində deyil,
Azerbaijan.
xüsusi xidmət orqanları səviyyəsində
Therefore,
koordinasiyalı
I
şəkildə
should
aparılan
emphasize
işdir.
again the unity of
Yəni
the three
nəticə olaraq qeyd etmək
brotherly
istərdim ki,
nations
üç
was a
qardaş
manifestation
birliyi strateji
of a
reallığın
strategic
təzahürü idi.
reality.
Bu həmrəylik
As a result of
nəticəsində
this
Azərbaycan,
solidarity,
Türkiyə və
a
Pakistan
new
arasında
geostrategic
yeni bir
model
geosiyasi
of brotherhood
qardaşlıq
was
modeli
formed
formalaşdı.
among Azerbaijan, Turkey, and
2021-ci ildə
Pakistan.
imzalanmış
The
Bakı
Baku Declaration
bəyannaməsi
signed in
bu birliyin hüquqi
2021
və
laid the
siyasi
legal and
əsasını
political
qoydu.
foundation of this
Bu
unity.
sənəd bir daha
This
göstərdi
document
ki,
demonstrates
üç
that
dövlətin
the
əməkdaşlığı
cooperation
yalnız
among the
hərbi deyil,
three states is
enerji,
not limited
nəqliyyat,
to the military
kibertəhlükəsizlik və
sphere.
humanitar
It
sahələri
also
də əhatə edir.
encompasses energy,
Burada
transportation,
ekolojik
cybersecurity,
məsələlərdən
and humanitarian
danışıldı.
fields.
Düşünürəm ki, ən
Today-
prioritet istiqamətlərdən də biri məhz bu məsələ idi. Bu gün dünya
Today,
çox
the
sahəli
world is
təhdidlərlə
facing
üz-üzədir.
multidimensional
Kiberhücumlar,
threats
dezinformasiya,
cyber
ideoloji
attacks,
təzyiqlər, hibrid
disinformation,
müharibələr.
ideological
Son
pressure,
vaxtlar
and
demək olar
hybrid
ki,
wars.
dünya düzənində
In
elə
recent
bir
years,
dəyişikliklər olub ki,
there were so
beynəlxalq
many
hüquq
changes in the
artıq
world.
demək olar ki, işləmir,
International
beynəlxalq
law
güclər
is not
işləyir.
working,
Buna görə də bu yerdə
international
olmaq
strength
çox
is
mühüm bir
working.
məsələdir.
Therefore, it is
Belə bir
important to
dövrdə
be
Azərbaycan, Türkiyə, Pakistan
together.
həmrəyliyi
In such a
regionun
period,
təhlükəsizlik
the Azerbaijan
arxitektурasında
Turkey-Pakistan
mühüm
solidarity
sabit
has become
təşkil
an
edici
important
amilə çevrildi.
stabilizing factor in
Hörmətli
the
tədbir
security
iştirakçıları,
architecture
44 günlük
of
müharibə
the
sübut
region.
etdi
Dear
ki,
participants,
haqq,
the
birlik və
44-day
qardaşlıq
war proved
birləşəndə
that
ən
when
güclü
justice,
təhdidlər
unity,
belə
and brotherhood
sarsıla
came
bilmir.
together, even the
Azərbaycan
strongest
bugün
pressure
yalnız öz
cannot shake
suverenliyini
them.
qoruyan deyil, həm də
Today, Azerbaijan
regionda
stands
sülh və
not only
təhlükəsizlik
as a
yaradan
state that
dövlət
protects
kimi
its sovereignty,
çıxışlar edir.
but also
Burada
nations that
xanım
contributes to
spikerin
peace
çıxışında da
and security in
istər
the region.
Vaşinqton görüşü,
And
istər
in the speech of the
Şanxay
Madam
Əməkdaşlıq
Speaker,
Təşkilatı çərçivəsində
in the
digər
meeting with
istiqamətlərdə
Washington and in
bununla
different
əlaqədar
various meetings,
çox mühüm
Madam
müzakirələr
Speaker
aparıldı.
had made a lot
Əminəm
of
ki, Prezident İlham Əliyevin, eyni
emphasis
zamanda
on this
Cənab Rəcəb Tayyip Ərdoğanın və Pakistan rəhbərliyinin, o
regards.
cümlədən baş
I'm
nazir
confident
Məhəmməd
that this trilateral
Şahbaz Şərifin
friendship shaped by
formalaşmış bu
the
üçtərəfli
determination
dostluq
of President İlham
gələcəkdə də
Aliyev,
regionun
President
sabitlik,
Recep Tayyip Erdogan,
inkişaf,
and the
ədalət
leadership
dayağı
of Pakistan,
olacaqdır.
including
Diqqətinizi
Prime
yetirdim.
Minister Mohammed Shahbaz Sharif, will continue to serve as a pillar of stability, development, and justice in the region. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for that eloquent articulation of our shared principles and the challenges we face. Finally, on this topic, I invite my brother and my counterpart, Mr. Ali Sahin, convener of the Turkey-Pakistan Parliamentary Friendship Group in the Grand National Assembly of Turkey, to deliver their statement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dear Chairperson, esteemed colleagues, first of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt greetings to all distinguished.
Tüm saygıdeğer katılımcılara
I am
en içten
pleased to be in
selamlarımı sunmak
Islamabad
istiyorum.
again and to come together with
Türkiye,
you on the
Pakistan,
occasion of the
Azerbaycan
trilateral
üçlü
meetings of
parlamento
speakers
başkanları
of
toplantısı
parliaments of
vesilesiyle
Turkey,
yeniden İslamabad'da
Pakistan
bulunmaktan
and
ve sizlerle bir
Azerbaijan.
araya gelmekten büyük bir memnuniyet.
I would like to express my sincere thanks to all those who contributed to organize this meeting and for the warm welcome and outstanding hospitality extended to us by you. I would like to thank, in this regard, especially Speaker of the National Assembly of Pakistan, His Excellency Mr. Serdar Ayaz Sadiq, for this great opportunity. Taking this opportunity, I would like also to express my deepest sympathy for our Pakistani brothers and sisters in the face of the devastating floods that have impacted millions of people, left widespread devastation, and claimed the lives of over 1,000 people. We pray that Almighty Allah grants mercy to those who lost their lives and wish patience to those left behind. I would also like to extend my condolences for the Shaheeds who lost their lives in the recent terrorist attacks in Pakistan. As a country that has struggled against terrorism for many years and has lost countless citizens, we wholeheartedly share your grief. It is clear that a common stance and sincere cooperation at the international level against terrorism is the only way out. In this respect, we fully understand the challenges and the threats faced by countries exposed to terrorism, especially those sponsored and supported by malicious external actors. We attach great importance to the efforts combating terrorist threats directed to the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the states, and we are resolute in our solidarity against war on terror. For many years, we have fought effectively and successfully against multiple terrorist organizations within and beyond our borders by developing our own defense capabilities and means. We stand ready to share our experiences as well as the capabilities we have developed with all the friendly and brotherly countries facing similar challenges. Distinguished participants, the current security environment is different from the past. It is much more complex and immediate in parallel to the evolution of the security environment as well as to international and local dynamics. Borderline between war and conflict is not clear anymore. It has increasingly become obvious that nations cannot address multifaceted security challenges, risks, and instabilities on their own. We see that hybrid threats have become more prevalent and widespread on a global scale. Hybrid threats combine military and non-military means such as disinformation, cyber attacks, economic pressures, and deployment of irregular armed groups, sometimes mixed with regular forces. On the other hand, in addition to the challenges that deeply affect our security, we also see that conflicts and tensions are increasing on a global scale, and armament is reaching its peak again after the Cold War. Geopolitical competition and power struggle, coupled with the increasing polarization, as we mainly encounter in many regions, indicate that we are now heading towards a multipolar world. Furthermore, we are going through a period in which the very foundation of the international system and world order established after the World War II to maintain peace and stability, as well as the principles and rules of international law, are being questioned. Dear colleagues, in these challenging times, given the key role our three countries play in a regional and international security, strengthening cooperation and solidarity between our countries has become even more vital. We are glad to see that our military relations and defense industry cooperation based on our strategic partnership are steadily deepening. The three countries regularly conduct joint military exercises, and mutual support is provided in military training and capacity building. Within the scope of defense industry, contacts are also increasing to deepen cooperation in areas such as technology transfer and joint production. We are proud to see that Turkish defense products are actively used by Azerbaijan and Pakistan. Milgem and Bayraktar drones are two best examples among many. As Turkey, we attach great importance to institutionalize and advance this trilateral cooperation. As a matter of fact, close cooperation between the three countries is also crucial for maintaining peace and stability in the region. Pakistan and Turkey together must play a role for the security and stability of Gulf region and Middle East. In the leadership of Turkey and Pakistan, Muslim world must create its own mechanism to solve their own problem with their own hands. Crisis in the Muslim world must be solved with Muslim hands. We are proud that Azerbaijan, by standing tall and proud against nearly 30-year occupation of Karabakh, has concluded its just struggle with a victory both in the ground and table. We welcome the recent progress in the peace process with Armenia. We hope that the progressive steps taken in the coming period will bring lasting peace, stability, and prosperity to our entire region. As we united with Azerbaijan, we also show our solidarity with Pakistan against the recent conflict with India. In this respect, I would like to congratulate Pakistani authorities for acting with common sense and dignity throughout these challenging times. As it has always been, we also stand by Pakistan on the Kashmir issue, which its resolution is vital for peace, stability, and prosperity across the region. We once again point out that the Kashmir issue should be settled based on the resolutions of the UN Security Council through dialogue and in line with the expectation of our Kashmiri brothers and sisters. Children of Srinagar are the children of Turkey. Women of Kashmir Valley are the women of Anatolia. Tears of Kashmiri mothers are the tears of Turkish mothers. Esteemed colleagues, the Islamabad Declaration, which proclaims that we stand united in defending our security and best interests and confirms our intention to continue our joint efforts in this endeavor, also means sending a strong message not only to the international community but also to external threats targeting our common peace, stability, and prosperity. At the end, I would like to once again express my sincere thanks to all those who contributed to organize this outstanding meeting. I am also confident that this meeting marks a strong step in strengthening our brotherhood, contributing the efforts to bring stability and prosperity in our region. Pakistan Zindabad, Azerbaijan Zindabad, Pakistan, Türkiye, Azerbaycan Dosti, Bayçari Zindabad.
Thank you for that strong, compassionate, and resolute statement which echoes the sentiments of all three nations. Thank you. Honorable members, distinguished delegates, as we bring this session to a close, I am filled with a profound sense of optimism. Today, we have engaged in two critical dialogues that define our times: securing our collective future against the climate crisis and standing in unwavering solidarity to defend our sovereign rights. The insights shared on climate change have charted a clear path for a collaborative, trilateral approach to building disaster resilience. The powerful expression of unity on defending our territorial integrity have reaffirmed that our bond is not merely diplomatic, but rooted in a shared destiny and mutual respect. Let the message from Islamabad be clear. The partnership between Pakistan, Azerbaijan, and Turkey is a formidable force for sustainable development, for regional stability, and for the principles of justice and sovereignty in the international arena. I thank each one of the speakers for their invaluable contributions and all of you for your attentive participation. The fraternal spirit in this room is the greatest guarantee of our success. The session is now adjourned. Thank you. Long live Pakistan, Azerbaijan, Turkey, friendship. Pakistan Zindabad.
I think.
I think we should stand here. बात सुने, वो जो ब्लंडर का कवर हो गया